contribution to the sport, he's been honored with the Arjuna Award in the year 2020.
निशान टोले निशान प्रकट।
देवियों और सज्जनों, निशान टोली निशान को परेड पर ला रही है। आप सभी से अनुरोध है कि निशान को समुचित सम्मान प्रदान करने हेतु कृपया खड़े हो जाएं तथा जो वर्दी में है वे परेड कमांडर की कमांड पर सैल्यूट करें। Ladies and gentlemen, the Nishan Toli will now bring in the President's colors. When the colors are brought in, you are requested to rise, and those in uniform will salute at the word of command of the parade commander.
निशान को सलामी देगा, सलामत शास।
The President's colors were presented to the National Defence Academy in recognition of the highest standards of training imparted here. The President's color is the highest honor that can be bestowed upon any military unit. The presentation of the award or standard by the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces of India is an acknowledgement of the unit's meritorious service. While the practice of carrying the colors into battle has stopped, the tradition of receiving, holding and parading the color continues even today in the armed forces.
It is the privilege of the cadets of the passing out course to carry the President's colors. In keeping with this tradition, The cadets carrying the President's colors to the parade ground are Squadron Cadet Captain Pratham Singh, flanked by Cadet Sergeant Major Aman Patel and Cadet Sergeant Major Chinmay Thakur.
Ladies and gentlemen, the parade is now lined up for review. The cadet commanding today's parade is Academy Cadet Adjutant Abhimanyu Singh Rathod. The officer on the charger to your extreme left is the adjutant, Major Harsh Bharat Jani. Major Harsh Bharat Jani is an alumnus of the 115th course of the National Defence Academy. An infantry officer, he was commissioned into the 3rd Battalion of the 4th Gorkha Rifles, Chindits. Possessing varied operational, staff and instructional experience, the officer has served as a Ghatak platoon commander along the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir and a company commander in high altitude area along the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh. The officer has undergone cross attachment with an armoured regiment as part of the strike corps along the western borders, and has also served as an instructor in the tactics wing at the infantry school Mount. In addition, the officer has served as a staff officer in Joint Operations Center at the UN missions in Lebanon and holds the distinction of representing Indian Army at Exercise Cambrian Patrol in Wales, UK, where the team secured a silver medal. A graduate of Defence Services Staff College, Wellington, the officer was awarded General Officer Commanding-in-Chief Eastern Command Commendation in the year 2015. The officer has assumed the appointment of adjutant on 2nd June 2021.
The adjutant is ably assisted by the assistant adjutant, Major Rohit Singh Pilania. The officer is an alumnus of Charlie Squadron of the 125th course of the National Defence Academy. He was commissioned into the 4th Battalion of the Rajput Regiment in December 2014 after passing out from the Indian Military Academy, Dehradun. The officer has served in active counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism operations in Arunachal Pradesh at the international border, on the western front at Gurdaspur, and in high-altitude areas along the line of control at Kargil. The officer is the son of Lieutenant Colonel Mahipal Singh of 9 Mechanized Infantry, who made the supreme sacrifice in service of the nation during the United Nations peacekeeping mission in South Sudan on 9th April 2013. Major Rohit Singh Pilania took over the appointment of Assistant Adjutant in December 2020. The actual footwork of training the cadets of the National Defence Academy in all aspects of drill is led by the Drill Subedar Major, Honorary Lieutenant Bishnu Kumar Shrestha from 1st Battalion of the 1st Gorkha Rifles. The Drill Subedar Major served as an instructor at the Indian Military Academy from 2005 to 2008 and the National Defence Academy from 2011 to 2015.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now awaiting the arrival of Major General Sanjeev Dogra, Deputy Commandant and Chief Instructor, National Defence Academy. Major General Sanjeev Dogra took over as Deputy Commandant and Chief Instructor, National Defence Academy, Khadakwasla on 1st December 2021. He is an alumnus of the 70th course of the National Defence Academy, Defence Services Staff College, Wellington, and College of Defence Management, Secunderabad. On completion of his training at the Indian Military Academy, Dehradun, he was commissioned into the 16th Battalion of the Jat Regiment in June 1987. Major General Sanjeev Dogra has a rich combat experience and has served in almost all tough terrains. As a young officer, he was posted at the highest battlefield of the world, the Siachen Glacier. His contributions towards counterinsurgency operations in Jammu and Kashmir helped him to raise and command a Rashtriya Rifles battalion deployed in the heart of insurgency. The officer commanded a brigade as a part of the Strike Corps in the Western Theatre and later was General Officer Commanding of a mountain division deployed along the line of control which is known to as Forever in Operations. Major General Sanjeev Dogra has specialized as an instructor. His initial instructional appointments include instructor at Indian Military Training Team Bhutan and battalion commander at Officers Training Academy, Chennai. As directing staff at College of Defence Management, Secunderabad, he specialized in operational research. He also served as Deputy Commandant and Chief Instructor at Infantry School, Mode. The General Officer has served as the Commandant of the War Gaming Development Center, where he was responsible for developing state-of-the-art computer-simulated war games for the Army. His important staff assignments include Brigade Major of a Mountain Brigade and as a Brigadier was responsible for Cadets Administration at Officers Training Academy, Gaya. Ladies and gentlemen, Major General Sanjeev Dogra, Deputy Commandant and Chief Instructor, National Defence Academy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are awaiting the arrival of Vice Admiral Ajay Kochar, Ati Vishish Seva Medal, Nau Sena Medal, Commandant, National Defence Academy. Vice Admiral Ajay Kochar, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Nausena Medal, assumed the appointment of Commandant, National Defence Academy on 1st April 2022. As an alumnus of the National Defence Academy, he was commissioned in the Indian Navy on 1st July 1988. He is a graduate of the Defence Services Staff College, Wellington, Naval War College, Mumbai, and the Royal College of Defence Studies at United Kingdom. In a career spanning 34 years, the flag officer has held various important and challenging command and staff appointments. He has been the Fleet Commander of the Western Fleet, the sword arm of the Indian Navy, where he led the fleet for critical operational missions, foreign bilateral exercises, and major humanitarian assistance and disaster relief taskings. He has commanded India's only aircraft carrier, INS Vikramaditya, and during his tenure, the carrier was deployed extensively for operations on both the east and west coasts. The officer has the distinction of commissioning a frontline frigate for the Navy at Kaliningrad, Russia. His other command appointments include INS Kirpan, a missile corvette, and missile vessels during Operation Parakram. The staff appointments of the flag officer include Joint Director Naval Plans and Director of Staff Requirements at Integrated Headquarters of Ministry of Defence, Navy, wherein he formulated the future maritime perspective and capabilities enhancement plans for the Indian Navy. He has also steered major shipbuilding projects for the Indian Navy as Assistant Controller of Carrier Projects and Assistant Controller of Warship Production and Acquisition. Ladies and gentlemen, Vice Admiral Ajay Kochar, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Nausena Medal, Commandant, National Defence Academy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are awaiting the arrival of Lieutenant General Jai Singh Nain, Ati Vishesh Seva Medal, Sena Medal, General Officer Commanding in Chief, Southern Command. Lieutenant General Jai Singh Nain is an alumnus of Sainik School Kunjpura, National Defence Academy Khadakwasla, and Indian Military Academy Dehradun. He was commissioned into the 2nd Battalion of the Dogra Regiment in June 1983. He is a graduate of Defence Services Staff College, Wellington, College of Defence Management, Secunderabad, and National Defence College, Bangladesh. The General Officer has a comprehensive and well-rounded operational experience through varied command and staff appointments during his 39-year-long military career. He has commanded his battalion on the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir, a mountain brigade in the northeast, an infantry division on the line of control, a strategically important corps on the western front, and a strike corps in the southern sector. The General Officer has served as a United Nations military observer with the United Nations mission in Iraq and Kuwait. He has also held prestigious staff appointments, namely a brigade major of an independent mechanized brigade, and Chief of Staff of the Northern and Eastern Commands. The General Officer is also the Colonel of the Dogra Regiment. He took over as the General Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Southern Command in February 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General Jai Singh Nain, Ati Vishesh Seva Medal, Sena Medal, General Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Southern Command.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are awaiting the arrival of Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary, Param Vishisht Seva Medal, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Vayu Sena Medal, Aide-de-Camp, Chief of Air Staff. Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary was commissioned into the fighter stream of the Indian Air Force on 29th December 1982. He is an alumnus of National Defence Academy, Flying Instructor School, and Defence Services Staff College, Wellington. The officer has a rich and varied experience of operational flying, having flown over 3,800 hours. During his career, he has held numerous command and staff appointments and has been an Air Force examiner on fighter and trainer aircraft. He is a Category A qualified flying instructor and an instrument rating instructor and examiner. The Chief has the unique distinction of being an instructor at Defence Services Staff College, Wellington, as well as Defence Services Command and Staff College, Zambia. The Air Chief Marshal has commanded a frontline fighter squadron and 2 important fighter bases. Some of his notable assignments include Assistant Chief of Air Staff, where he spearheaded several major procurement cases of the Indian Air Force. He later was Air Officer Commanding-in-Chief of Western Air Command and Vice Chief of Air Staff before taking over as Chief of the Air Staff on 30th September 2021. The Air Chief Marshal is the Chairman of the Chiefs of Staff Committee. For distinguished service of a high order, he has been awarded the Param Vishisht Seva Medal in 2021 and Ati Vishisht Seva Medal in 2015 besides the Vayu Sena Medal in 2004 for devotion to duty. Ladies and gentlemen, Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary, Param Vishisht Seva Medal, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Vayu Sena Medal, Aide de Camp, Chief of Air Staff, the reviewing officer for today's parade. Ladies and gentlemen, please look to your left. You can see the first fly past, wherein we have 3 helicopters approaching the parade ground in trooper formation.
श्रीमान राष्ट्रीय रक्षण कैंप 142 स्कोर दीक्षांत समारोह परेड 960 कैडेट्स ब्रेकफास्ट परेड निरीक्षण के लिए हाजिर है। ऑस्कर कैडेट खड़ा रहो बाकी परेड
The number of our alumni who've been decorated in war is legion. Most of them have had their baptism with fire in the wars since independence. Some where blizzards and snowstorms rule. Some where the winds blow full of sand. Some where the waves hold argument with the sky, and some in the uncharted space above. But like professional soldiers, they were conscious of the hazard of the profession they had chosen. and were conscious of the contribution they were making to safeguard the sovereignty of our nation. In this long march to glory, our alumni have demonstrated exemplary courage and dedication, both in war and peace. They have defended our borders, kept the territorial waters safe for the nation, and touched its sky with glory. The list of our alumni who have distinguished themselves in war would read like a veritable who's who of Indian heroes. Till date, these heroes have been awarded 3 Paramveer Chakra, 32 Mahavir Chakra, 162 Veer Chakra, 12 Ashok Chakra, 45 Kirti Chakra, and 152 Shaurya Chakra.
There are some whom we always remember with special fondness. Captain Gurbachan Singh Salaria, 9th Course, Bravo Squadron. 2nd Lieutenant Arun Khetrapal, 38th Course, Foxtrot Squadron. And Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey, 90th Course, Mike Squadron. The spirit of 381 warriors and 5 of those who went missing in action resides in the hut of remembrance behind the Sudan block, which was built brick by brick, stone by stone, with the dedicated toil of the cadets of the 10th to the 17th courses.
The reviewing officer will now review the parade. Leading the lineup is the contingent of Oscar Squadron, proudly carrying the Chiefs of Staff banner. The second contingent is of Bravo Squadron. The third contingent is of Charlie Squadron. The fourth contingent is of Mike Squadron. The fifth contingent is of Kilo Squadron. The sixth contingent is of Juliet Squadron. The seventh contingent is of Alpha Squadron. The eighth contingent is of India Squadron. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nishan Toli, proudly carrying the President's colors. The ninth contingent is of Hunter Squadron.